How do you fast charge your phone? Do you even know what fast charging is? You've probably seen the term before, but have you ever stopped to wonder exactly how fast charging works? Let's start at the beginning. First of all, there isn't one universal fast charging standard. There are several protocols that can deliver power at above standard speeds. And just because you have a fast charger or a device that supports fast charging does not mean it will charge any faster than a normal charger would. That's because the fast charging protocol requires both the charger and the device to support it. It's kind of like those videos where they talk about USB compatibility and how you might need a special cable to transfer data from one device to another because one uses USB-A and the other uses USB-C. With fast charging, it's similar in that the charger and the device need to speak the same language. Otherwise, the extra juice won't flow. So let's say you have a phone that supports a certain kind of fast charging and you get a fast charger for it. How does the phone know how to receive power from the charger? Well, it's not the charger that tells the phone how much juice to accept. The phone itself has a processor that controls how much power gets into the battery. But how does that work? Well, inside the phone is a tiny little circuit board called a Power Management IC or IPM. Now this is important, so I'm going to say it again. It's called a Power Management IC or IPM. This little board monitors the voltage level of the battery and then sends signals to the charging circuitry, telling it how much power to pull from the charger. So when you plug in your phone, the IPM wakes up and starts measuring the voltage coming from the charger. If it's low, the IPM tells the charging circuit to ramp up the incoming power until the battery reaches its maximum safe level. Once the battery is full, the IPM tells the charging circuitry to dial down the incoming power so that trickle charge mode turns on. In other words, once the battery is full, the charging circuitry keeps pulling small amounts of power from the charger to keep the battery topped off without overcharging it. But wait, why do we even need a separate chip to manage all this? Wouldn't it be easier to just code it into the main processor? Well, yes, it could be coded into the main processor, but doing so would take away from the processing power that the main chip devotes to running the phone's apps. Keeping the power management simple and efficient allows the main processor to focus on keeping your games running smoothly. And while we're talking about processors, let's address an issue that often comes up regarding fast charging. Some people claim that it ruins the battery because it puts more stress on the processor, which is absolutely incorrect. Just like the Power Management IC, modern processors are designed to handle the rigors of fast charging. They don't even break a sweat. But what if you use a charger that doesn't support the fast charging protocol your phone needs? What happens then? Well, the phone's IPM will see that the charger isn't providing the proper signal for fast charging, so it will kick into action and measure the incoming voltage. Then it will scale back the phone's charging rate until it's receiving the maximum amount of power it can safely accept. So in other words, if the charger doesn't support the fast charging protocol, the phone will just charge at a normal rate. Now let's dive into some of the benefits of fast charging, which is actually better for the environment. Traditional chargers typically draw 1 amp of current, which means they pull about 5 watts of power, which is fine. But with fast charging, they draw around 2 amps, meaning they pull about 10 watts of power. But that doesn't necessarily mean that fast charging is bad for the environment. The reason why is because fast chargers are more efficient at converting incoming AC power into outgoing DC power, meaning they waste less energy as heat. This increased efficiency means that a fast charger can actually be more eco-friendly than a traditional charger, especially when you consider that you don't have to manufacture as many chargers to meet demand. Another benefit of fast charging is that it can help prevent your phone from getting too hot. That's because when a phone charges slowly, it dissipates heat over a longer period of time, which can cause the metal components inside the phone to expand. This expansion can put pressure against the phone's enclosure, causing it to overheat. On the other hand, fast charging means that the battery absorbs energy more quickly, which helps prevent the metal components from expanding too much and helps keep the phone cool. Finally, let's talk about some of the downsides of fast charging. One of the most common concerns is that it damages the battery, which does happen sometimes, but usually only when the phone or charger is defective. When it's done right, fast charging shouldn't damage the battery. Another concern is that fast charging causes the phone to get hot, and while it can happen, it's generally not a problem unless you're using a cheap, low-quality fast charger. Those can get pretty hot. Using a high-quality charger should minimize heat and allow you to fast charge without any problems. Finally, some people worry that fast charging will shorten the lifespan of their battery. And while it's true that fast charging puts more stress on a battery than slow charging, modern phones are designed to handle it without any issues. One way fast charging works is by delivering higher voltages than traditional chargers, which means that less current has to flow through the battery. This reduces internal resistance, which generates less heat. It's almost like using a wider pipe. With less friction, the current can flow more easily. So if fast charging is so beneficial, why wouldn't all phones support it? Well, believe it or not, there are some downsides to consider. First of all, fast charging requires more complex electronics inside the phone, which increases manufacturing costs. Additionally, including fast charging circuitry means that the phone needs more space for those components, which takes away from the space available for a larger battery. And finally, fast charging puts more stress on the battery, which means it will degrade more quickly. All these factors contribute to why some phones don't support fast charging. Despite the drawbacks, fast charging is becoming more popular as people want their devices to charge faster, which makes sense considering we use our phones every day and often find ourselves needing to charge them during the day. For example, Apple has been adding fast charging to more and more of its products, including the iPhone 14 series. These phones can charge at up to 27 watts. However, it's worth noting that Apple doesn't include a charger in the box. So if you want to fast charge your iPhone, you'll have to buy an extra charger. Not to mention that while Apple claims that the iPhone 14 can charge up to 50% in 30 minutes, that claim is based on testing conducted by Apple. Independent tests have shown that it can take 40 minutes to reach that 50% mark. Still, it's better than nothing, and you can always adjust the settings to make your phone charge even faster. Another example is Samsung, which offers fast charging on most of its high-end phones. Samsung's super fast charger can deliver up to 45 watts of power, although not all models support that level of charging. Speaking of batteries, did you know that modern cars use lithium-ion batteries, the same ones found in laptops and phones? If you want to learn more about how those work, check out this video. Or if you want to learn more about how solar panels work, check out this video. Comment below with video suggestions and don't forget to subscribe.